Okay, remember these last two videos are for home teams only, okay? Home teams only in the second half, either playing them in the second half or in the in-game, okay? So, Colorado here, you see this line drop? This was a fake line drop, okay? There was a lot of people taking UCLA here for some reason. This is why you don't follow line movements, okay? You got to break down these situations in these games. That's how you know who's going to win this game. You watch the game and you can figure stuff out as you see it, or just look at the box scores. Okay, so for some reason people were taking UCLA here. Okay, but if you look at UCLA, they're an 0-3 team. They just lost to Fresno State at home. All right, so now they go on the road. They were like a 2-point favorite or a 2-point underdog at home. All right, they got lost like 38-14. Okay. So a lot of people were believing in UCLA here for whatever reason. 0-3. Now Colorado, on the other hand, this team is hot. Okay, Colorado is hot. You see here, they haven't had quality wins. I mean, Colorado State hasn't returned anybody on their offense. They're like one of the this team hasn't returned anybody. One of the worst teams returning production. Okay, so they had a big win against Colorado State. It's still a win, though. They beat Nebraska, which Nebraska has been very bad lately, and New Hampshire, which is not even a D1 team. Okay, so they're 3-0, haven't had quality wins yet, but they're still 3-0. Okay, so this team is still searching for a quality win, I guess, but UCLA is not a good team either. But this team is just hot right now. Okay, so how would we know where UCLA wouldn't be a play here? Well, because obviously they would have some motivation being down, losing 3 games in a row, going on the road to play Colorado. So yeah, I could see why they were getting some action on UCLA, but it's not a safe play taking a 0-3 team on the road. Okay, so this is how you define and confirm why Colorado would win this game, okay? And you would be able to catch this during play, all right? So as we see this game here, all right, with all things given, you look at this box score, it was very easy to pick this game up, okay? When it was very close, all right? So we see here where UCLA gets a touchdown, okay? They go up 7-0. All right, so we know UCLA has a little bit of incentive, a little bit of motivation to win this game, especially losing 3-0. But they're going up against a hot team here, okay? So they go up 7-0. And remember, we're taking the home teams. This strategy is for the home teams, okay? We're focused in on these home teams, okay, for this strategy. UCLA goes up 7-0. Okay, you can't really tell anything here. Colorado ties this game. Okay, then UCLA goes up 10-7 here. Okay, they couldn't get a touchdown. All right, they go up 10-7. You still really can't tell. Okay, and then with 6 minutes left in the second quarter, Colorado scores a touchdown, so they respond here. Okay, so I don't know if you see it how I see it, but I got a feeling here at this point where Colorado is going to win this game and they're going to rout UCLA. It might be a little bit harder for a new person to figure this out, but once the second touchdown was scored by Colorado, I knew that they were going to blow this team out. Okay, and then with second quarter left, with 1 minute and 40 seconds left, UCLA gets a field goal here, obviously, but Colorado's still up 1 point going into halftime. Okay, if you watch the first half, they made a lot of mistakes at the end of that first half. Okay, Colorado could have easily covered that first half, but there was a lot of penalties that happened at the end of that first half. Okay, but it was at this point where I knew Colorado was going to win this game handily. All right, so they responded twice here. They responded once here. UCLA didn't get a touchdown. They got a field goal, and then they responded here twice. Okay, then they're down going into halftime. UCLA gets a field goal, but they're still down. Okay, so this team is going to win because this team is hot right now. Okay, so you can just feel it. If you're watching these box scores, you can just feel it. Okay, now if you notice what happened, okay, in the third quarter, UCLA got a field goal, and then it was just a rout. You see this? See how easy that is to predict? I mean, it might be a little bit harder for some people to figure this out. This one's a little bit tougher than this Tulane game, okay? This one takes a little bit more practice. I mean, there's really nothing else I could explain. I can't give away too much about what I saw in this one, but I gave away pretty much everything that I have to explain in this game. But this line did drop. There was a lot of public action taking UCLA here. And, you know, this was very easy. 24-3 in the second half, okay? The key though, was the second touchdown, all right? When they went up 14-10, this is when you bet them in the end game. This is when you take Colorado on the end game, okay? You take them because you're going to be getting a lot more value by taking them right here. Even when they're UCLA, you still had an opportunity to take them when they got this field goal here, all right? Because this line in the second half, if you would have waited, it would have been 5. Okay, so Colorado's up by 1 point going into the second half. The second half line is going to be 5. So 5 and 1 is 6. Okay, so they are going to be nearly a touchdown favorite, whereas this line was 8.5, 9.5. Okay, so you're going to be getting value by taking Colorado here at the half because they're up by 1 point. And the second half line, let's check it. It's either 4.5 or 5. Okay. Okay, it was 6. 5. Here's a line here for 5.5. Okay, so everywhere it was pretty much 5.5 or 6. Okay, so 5 and 6 and 6 and 1. That's a touchdown right there. Okay, because they're up by 1 point, so that's a touchdown. You can get this team as a touchdown, whereas the closing line was 8.5. So you're getting value still by taking Colorado at halftime. So, like I said, once Colorado went up, that's when you bet this game. Or you could have waited a little longer until UCLA. But, you know, eventually this was going to be a rout. You know, you don't want to wait too long. I would have taken them here in the end game up 4. The line would have probably been back to where the game line was, which was 8.5. Still an easy cover, okay? So they won by 20 points, 38-16, 22 points, okay? So this one was a little harder to figure out. But if you notice this line movement here, you would be able to notice that and understand if you waited during the game and watched it, okay? So I'll be back with another video. I hope this one helped. It's a little confusing, but comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you then.